In this demo, I've implemented the Pi-hole application within a Docker container inside of an Ubuntu virtual machine. We're going to go ahead and switch over to that machine right now. And I'm going to open up a new terminal. And just to show you guys, the DNS server right now for this machine is being resolved by Google's DNS server. So if I go ahead and go to and just look up speedtest.net, you can see that right now it is going through 8.8.8.8 and it is coming back with the speedtest.net addresses. If we go to speedtest.net, let's say I want to go ahead and test the speeds of my connection. Speedtest.net is also going to have ads hosted by third-party ad providers. And as you can see, it took quite a bit of extra time and additional resources for me to load up all 5 of these exact same non-unique advertisement elements on my page, which was completely unnecessary and something that I don't want to see. So for me, what I would want to do is filter these ads out and only get what I really want, which is just the contents of this website. So we're going to close out of my browser, go back to my terminal, and we're going to actually tell our machine to go through a different DNS server, our Pi-hole's DNS address. So if we go to sudo nano /etc/resolve.config, and we go all the way to the bottom here, we're going to go ahead and comment out the default address, which in my case I've set to 8.8.8.8. And we go ahead and replace it with the IP address of our DNS server, our Pi-hole's DNS server. And we're just going to go ahead and test to make sure it is actually working. So it is going through our Pi-hole, through the DNS server of the Pi-hole, and also coming back with the address of the website we were trying to go to. So we close out of the terminal and we go ahead and go to our browser. Go back to speedtest.net. Remember all those advertisements that we saw. Look over here as well. As you can see, it's right now trying to load up the page, and as it's loading, it's unable to find those domains that those advertisements would have connected to. So all 5 of those advertisements, those obnoxious banners, are now gone, and we just get the contents of what we want. So if we look behind the scenes here, you can see that Pi-hole is working as expected. So we made a query to the DNS server asking to go through to speedtest.net. And as it was doing that, so this is around the 50 second mark, and so that was just the request I did here. It has blocked everything that we didn't want. Those banners that we saw, those are all gone. So yeah, time matches up. So yeah, just look at the contents of how much it had already blocked. Pi-hole has a dashboard that allows you to see statistics of what it's doing in real time. So this is actually updating in real time right now. And if we were to find any queries that were blocked, that also gets added into the statistic. And Pi-hole has a lot of other capabilities as well. Like if you see advertisements that are not being filtered by the ad list provided, you can continue to add more domains. So here I've actually added a few domains here that we're loading up on msn.com. So this is going by fool.com and this address as well. If we go to msn.com quickly, those are actually these 2 advertisements right here. And just to take a peek as well, you can see that Pi-hole is filtering out these banners on these 2 ad banners here. But yeah, let's say, this is an advertisement, but if we click on these advertisements, you'll notice that it's just kind of hanging right now. And that's because we told Pi-hole to look for anything that is being directed by that domain name, just filter it out. Don't let it actually go through with the full connection. Same thing with this advertisement here. You can look at the bottom left, it's by fool.com. It's unable to get that connection completed. So Pi-hole is very extendable on the way that you can configure it. Another thing that you can do with Pi-hole is actually extend its filtering capabilities to your own home network. So I've set it up in a virtual machine here, but I can actually use this in my own host machine as well, and my mobile devices or my smart TVs. So if I go ahead and go to control panel here, I go to network and internet, view network status and tasks, change adapter settings. This is the adapter that I'm using right now. So we'll right click, go to properties, find the IPv4, and automatically this should be obtain DNS server address automatically. That's going to be kind of the same deal as like finding either your ISP's DNS server address, or you may have an alternative Google or Cloudflare DNS server, but it has no filtering capabilities. So if we want to redirect it to a DNS server that does, like Pi-hole, we'll go ahead and set the IP address to the machine. We can close everything out. And something to keep in mind is that as you go through a DNS server, all addresses that have made full connection also gets cached away. So it can load those pages faster or those elements faster. But in our case, since we've used Pi-hole to load ads in the past, even with the filtering enabled by connection, we're going to still see those ads because it's saved onto our computer. So we need to flush that out by going to the command prompt and go to ipconfig/flushdns, and it's going to flush the cache of the DNS servers. So we load up our browser now. I do have one ad blocker, but I've disabled it for this demo. And we go ahead and go to that same exact URL. You can see that it's working the same way. It's loaded up the page, but we're not seeing any ads. My ad blocker is off right now. And if we go to the 192.168.86.33/admin, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and go to the queries here. I load this page up and I reload this page here. All of those ads that were being loaded up by speedtest.net, same deal, just being completely blocked right now, which is good for us. So that was just kind of a brief overview and comparison of how Pi-hole functions on your machine. And yeah, so that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching the demo, and I hope you learned something about Pi-hole.